to work together and make this country be the best that it can be. We want to. The reason we're losing ground is because we're throwing away our best minds. We're locking them up, the smartest ones, the ones with the most energy. We're locking them up and we're throwing away their life. So that's why this country is sinking. And it's sinking fast. So we're going to talk about the four that I mentioned earlier: Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Christian Cooper, and George Floyd. When I was briefly looking to go through this material, there's so many black and brown youth that have been shot down by police, in the line of their so-called duty to serve and protect the oligarchy. So, and like I said, I have other videos and stuff that look at other aspects of what I'm talking about. So I don't want this to be longer than usual. But look at the other videos and I talk about other areas. So after you go through the videos and stuff, you have a pretty good foundation on what we're up against and how to resolve the issue. Breonna Taylor was a 26-year-old black female who was sleeping when a gang of police officers with a no-knock warrant burst into their home and shot her, 8 times? I still had 20 times. And they have 20 bullets in there and they hit her like 8 times. So then the judge gave a no-knock warrant. The mindset, man. When we go through this, these 4 areas, what we're looking at is the mindset, the mental mindset of white people, the ones that are in charge, and some black people as well, and Hispanic and people of color. This happened in Louisville, Kentucky. The boyfriend of a Kentucky woman shot by police in her home told a 9/11 operator, "Somebody shot my girlfriend," after officers burst into the apartment. The 911 call Kenneth Walker made after Breonna Taylor was shot during a warrant search by Louisville police was released to media outlets Thursday. Taylor, 26-year-old black emergency medical tech, was shot 8 times on March 13th after narcotics detectives knocked down the front door. No drugs were found in the home. Right? Walker can be heard on a call crying and calling Taylor's name. "Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend," Walker tells the dispatcher. He says Taylor was on the ground and that she was shot in the stomach. "There's blood. Oh my God." He says during the 2-minute call. He later hangs up on the dispatcher who tried to call back but got no answer. Attention on Taylor's death has intensified after her family sued the police department earlier this month. The case has attracted national headlines alongside the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery in the Georgia neighborhood in February. Last week, prosecutors dropped an attempted murder charge against Walker for shooting an officer who entered the apartment. And many times, the police come in, criminal victimize you, and then they charge you with a crime. And this time, this wasn't allowed to happen because they're unless you have overwhelming evidence, these people do the most heinous things against black people and just lie. They have no conscience at all. Also, last week, Louisville police chief announced his retirement, and the mayor changed police warrant search policies. See, that's where you got to hit him in the mouth, man. The mayor, talking about the police chief, the mayor needs to demand, and I'm going to talk about this briefly. The mayor must demand that the police clean up house. We going after police chief and so forth. No, the mayor, you elect the mayor, he's the one that hires. In most cases, he hires the police chief. So you got to know that we quit going after the symptoms and going after the real problem. And the first problem we need to go through is us. We need to fix ourselves. Walker told police investigators that he could hear knocking on the night of the shooting, but did not hear police announce themselves. Of course not. They lied saying that they did knock, but they had a no-knock warrant. Come on. The neighbors said they didn't hear them announce themselves. He said he was scared to death, so he grabbed his gun, and when the door was knocked down, he fired a shot. He said his intention was to fire a warning shot downward toward the ground. Then he shot the police officer in the leg. Prosecutors said last week that after police fired into the apartment, they retreated from the area And that's when Walker called 911. So when he fired, when the door opened, and they still managed to come in and shoot Breonna, the brother's lucky he's alive. Federal and state officials are reviewing the police department's internal investigation of the shooting, which was completed last week. Ahmaud Arbery. And this stuff's all over the internet. You just type in their names and so forth, and you got you got the latest update on the information as well. So I'm just trying to draw a scenario here. Ahmaud Arbery, the 28-second video showed Arbery jogging as Travis McMichael, 34, stood outside of a white pickup truck armed with a shotgun, and Gregory McMichael, 64, a former police officer. The mindset, man. Stood in the truck's open flatbed truck holding a .357 Magnum. The video shows Arbery and Travis McMichael tussling with the shotgun before 3 shots are fired. Arbery stumbled and fell to the ground where he was pronounced dead. All of our children should understand martial arts, so that way you can deflect that shotgun, grabbing it. Just self-defense. Plus, it's good exercise, physical fitness, helps you to train your mind. Whether children play sports or not, they should learn physical fitness and martial arts. The attorneys for Arbery's mother and father said the family was relieved to learn of Brian's arrest. Right? That's we called for his arrest from the very beginning of this process. His involvement in the murder of Mr. Arbery was obvious to us. Too many around the country, and after their thorough investigation, was clear that the GBA, Government Bureau of Investigation as well, the attorneys of S. Lee Merritt, Benjamin Crump, and S. Chris Stewart said in a statement, "We demand everybody who had anything to do with this lynch mob who executed our son be arrested and put under the jail. My son was lynched," said Arbery's father, Marcus Arbery, in a statement on Friday. And now that William Bryan has been arrested, the guy who filmed it, they need to go and arrest the rest of them. I don't know who the rest of them are. Gove said in a press conference earlier this week that his client was receiving death threats due to a video and feared going to work. Now this guy, I don't know. I think I may go through it. This I'll touch on it later, right? Okay, Ahmaud Arbery's parents, Wanda Cooper Jones and Marcus Arbery Sr., remember their son as a vibrant and well-mannered young man who had his entire life ahead of him. He's just jogging through the community, man. But you guys, we need to make our own community safe so we don't feel that we got to move in among them. It's and it's America. You should be able to go and first of all, those of us who are trailblazers, they went out and, chased them to the suburbs. Up there's running out. We ran after them. It has opened up society. It opened up opportunities. And Dr. King, even before he was taken from us, realized that, hey, man, I'm probably leading you guys into a flaming building. See, so now we've broken down barriers in the community. Now we need to reflect on us and rebuilding the inner. We are running out there trying to be like everybody else, and we forgot who we are. I was looking at this reality show the other day, and this young lady who said, this black young lady said, she mentioned everybody else that she wanted to be like, but not herself. I don't get that. So we need to work on that. We need to work on rebuilding our self-esteem within our community, and love who you are, and love who you are. They said that the 25-year-old went for a routine afternoon jog on Sunday, February 23rd, through the Satilla Shores, Georgia neighborhood that's located a town over from where he lived in Brunswick. So he had to, I don't know, jogging in another neighborhood. After seeing Ahmaud Arbery, who was an African American, Gregory McMichael alerted his son, Travis McMichael, and the two men, both white, set off to confront Arbery, police said. So this is premeditated. This is a volitional act. They premeditated this act, right? This should be first degree murder. Then armed, like I said, this is all over the internet. Just Google his name, and all types of stuff will pop up. He was armed with a shotgun and a .357 Magnum handgun, respectively. And the Georgia laws, which allow civilians to pursue a suspect if they see a crime being committed, and make an arrest until law enforcement arrive. Right? The father and son hopped into their white pickup truck and went after Mr. Arbery, according to police reports. Mr. Arbery was shot and declared dead on the scene by the coroner. It's just mind-boggling. If you're a parent, you have children, the tremendous pain and anguish that the parents should be feeling and you're going through. And in white America, they only have empathy for themselves. You see them boo-hooing, crying. Let something happen to their child, they gonna lose it. But when they doing it to somebody else, man, it's like, I'm not talking about about a third, right? We making some progress, but racism is not over. We need to choke it out. And this is the opportunity to do that, right? We have our people going hit the streets and stuff, getting the attention, and that, even the violence is wrong, but it's necessary to get the attention because they don't listen. A bully only listens if you punch him in the nose and draw some blood. That's the only time a bully will listen to you. And after the shooting, Gregory McMichael told police that there were several break-ins in the neighborhood and that he saw the suspect, according to police reports. I'm not advocating. I'm an attorney. I'm an officer of the court, and I'm not advocating violence. But these people are violating the Constitution. I've taken several oaths to uphold the Constitution, and you guys are adamantly violating the Constitution. And we're gonna go into that later. Hang on in there. I'm pulling it together, and I will show you exactly why and how you're violating the constitutional rights. Ahmaud Arbery, who was stalked by 3 white sociopaths in a quiet neighborhood in Georgia while taking his daily jog. He was murdered on camera, and a third person eventually charged was documenting the entire lynching event. Showed premeditation because he came equipped for such purpose, and he also used his truck to trap Mr. Arbery when he tried to escape. These individuals were charged 2 months later for murder. After the footage was given to a radio station for broadcasting. Was it the radio? I think it was, the heat of the situation was rising as they must have agreed among themselves, that the footage would exonerate them before turning it over to the media, which is the complete opposite of what they imagine in their mind. And this reflects a state of mind of these sociopaths, because just as lynching in the past, because they didn't see what was wrong with this picture. Just like the Rodney King situation. These people, that's why they shouldn't be on the jury when for black people. First of all, they all look alike, and you have no empathy. You have a psychopathic mentality when it comes to black people. The elder gentleman was an ex-police officer I mentioned earlier. White officers should not be allowed to police outside of their communities. This is a terrible thing. And the thing he filmed this footage, then he turns it in. Because he thought it would exonerate them. He thought the footage would show that they were innocent. My goodness. Right? And now the people at his job, this guy they're threatening his life. Said, after the fact, like, you're an idiot. But they didn't. They probably, when they see it, they're probably, unless these events took place the way they did, they would have saw it firsthand and agreed that this will exonerate them from the murder. It's a mental block. Then we have Christian Cooper. Wow. Now this brother right here, just suppose that the police had reacted in a violent fashion, he would be dead too. He would be dead too.